3 hours into a dopamine detox, most people quit. Not because they are weak, because their brain is doing something to them that nobody told them about. The restlessness, the irritability, the boredom that feels like a physical ache. That is not weakness. That is your nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward hub, firing at 40% of its normal rate, and interpreting the absence of stimulation as a threat to your survival. Your brain cannot tell the difference between boredom and danger. That is the first thing nobody tells you about dopamine detox, and it is the reason 94% of people who attempt it are doing it completely wrong. We need to go deeper than the trend. Here is what most detox content gets wrong from sentence 1. Dopamine is not a pleasure chemical. That is the single most repeated lie in wellness culture. Dopamine is an anticipation chemical. It does not fire when you receive a reward. It fires in the seconds before you expect one. Neuroscientists at Stanford identified this in 1997. Wolfram Schultz recorded dopamine neuron activity in primates and found the signal peaks at the moment of prediction, not at the moment of delivery. This is why the scroll feels better than the post. This is why the notification sound is more addictive than the message inside it. And this is why every app, every feed, every algorithm is engineered around exactly one thing: the moment just before you get what you want. Not the reward. The anticipation of the reward. If you have spent the last year chasing focus and failing, it is not your fault that this mechanism exists. Neither can I turn it off by wanting to. But knowing what the signal actually is changes what you have to do to reset it. Most people who attempt a dopamine detox design it completely backwards. They remove the stimulation. They do not touch the system that generates the craving. Here is what actually happens in your brain at hour 3 of a detox designed that way. Your ventral tegmental area, the dopamine production region, does not receive fewer requests for dopamine. It receives the same number of requests with no delivery. The signal keeps firing. The reward never comes. This is not detox. This is deprivation. And deprivation does not recalibrate a threshold. Deprivation raises anxiety. Neuroscientists at the University of Michigan found that dopaminergic neurons under sustained deprivation do not reduce firing. They increase it, attempting to compensate for the absent reward. That is why you feel worse at hour 6 than hour 1. The system is not calming down. It is screaming louder. And this is the moment where the science of what actually resets your dopamine baseline begins. So what actually works? The answer is not what the wellness industry sells you. The mechanism is called dopaminergic baseline recalibration, and it has 3 precise requirements. Requirement 1, effort-gated reward. Your brain does not lower its baseline by receiving no stimulation. It lowers its baseline when it receives stimulation that required effort to earn. Research from Stanford's neuroscience department suggests that effort-gated activities, tasks where the reward follows real exertion, engage the same VTA pathway as digital stimulation, but with one critical difference. The anticipation spike occurs at the effort, not at the passive receipt of content. Your dopamine fires when you begin the hard thing, not when you scroll to the next thing. Requirement 2, delay length. A 2021 analysis of dopamine receptor sensitivity found that meaningful receptor downregulation, the actual recalibration you are trying to achieve, requires a minimum of 72 continuous hours of reduced high stimulation input. not 24, not 48. 72 hours before the receptor sensitivity begins measurably shifting. Requirement 3, replacement activity. You cannot leave a gap. The brain will fill any gap with the highest dopamine source available to it. That is not weakness. That is prediction error biology. And you cannot override prediction error with willpower. So here is what the protocol actually looks like. Not as philosophy, as a stack. Activity 1, deliberate physical exertion. Not a walk, not stretching. Something that produces real effort, resistance. Something your body genuinely does not want to start. Research from the University of British Columbia found that aerobic exercise increases dopamine receptor density in the striatum by a measurable percentage, and critically, it engages the VTA pathway through effort gating, not passive receipt. The anticipation spike fires when you begin the set, not when you finish it. Activity 2, analog creation, writing, drawing, building something with your hands. The requirement is that the outcome is uncertain, that it could fail, that there is effort with no guarantee of reward. This is the neurological opposite of the algorithm, which is engineered to guarantee reward at a rate precisely calibrated to maximize dopamine anticipation, not effort. Activity 3, deliberate social presence, not messaging, not calling. Physical proximity to another human being, where the reward is unpredictable and the effort is real. The brain registers unpredictable social reward through the same VTA pathway as every other dopamine signal, but the anticipation structure is longer, deeper, and does not require a feed refresh to sustain it. Your biology is built for this kind of reward. It just forgot. Here is the part nobody tells you at the end. Dopamine detox is not a reset. It is a recalibration. A reset implies you return to a factory state, to some clean version of yourself that existed before the algorithm found you. That version does not exist anymore. Your receptor sensitivity has been shaped by years of high stimulation input. That is not a character flaw. That is neurobiology responding to environment. What recalibration means is that you are not trying to become someone else. You are lowering the threshold at which your own biology registers effort as reward. The goal is not less dopamine. The goal is a brain where finishing a chapter, starting a difficult conversation, sitting in silence for 20 minutes, registers as the same biological signal as a notification. Not because you forced it, because your baseline shifted. And that shift, according to the research, begins in your brain before you feel it in your life. You will not feel different on day 3. You will feel it on day 10. Trust the mechanism, not the mood. Because I am not making content. I am building a map for people who are lost. Next video, one number. 66. That is how many days neuroscientists at University College London found it takes to build a habit that no longer requires willpower to maintain. Not 21, not 30. 66. Miss that video, and you will keep resetting at the exact same point every time. Subscribe if you want that.